Welcome back guys. Decky-Framegen plugin is now available on Decky Store. You can install it directly from here. It's a fairly new plugin. Previously we were required to manually install it. It's not required now. I even showed the process for it. Before installing the latest version of Framegen plugin, make sure to uninstall the older version. I'll show you the process. Using Decky-Framegen, we can enable FSR frame generation in games that support DirectX 12. Just to be clear, Decky-Framegen is not a new frame generation mod. It basically installed DLSS enabler in the game's installed directory. DLSS enabler mod itself uses Nukem 9's DLSS G2 FSR3 and Nitex's Optiscaler mods to enable FSR frame generation. Optiscaler also replaces DLSS subscaler with either FSR or XeSS subscaler. Nukem 9's mod basically replaces DLSS frame generation with FSR frame generation. Optiscaler mod can inject FSR frame generation in a game that supports DirectX 12 and DLSS subscaler. Newer versions of Optiscaler mod don't even require DLSS subscaler. They can activate the mod via XeSS or FSR upscaler. The compatibility varies from game to game. Fake because fake NV API is used to spoof an RTX GPU. Now AMD recommends a minimum of 55 to 60 FPS when using frame generation. In most of the newly released AAA games, this is not possible. On Steam Deck, you can still use frame generation at lower FPS values. High FPS is recommended to keep the latency in check and minimize the graphical artifacts caused by the added interpolated frames. The input delay penalty is easily perceivable when using a mouse instead of a gamepad. So basically you want the base FPS to be as high as possible. On Steam Deck, I would recommend targeting a minimum of 40 FPS when playing the game using a gamepad, frame generation enabled. That's it with the basics. First I'll uninstall the previous version of Framegen plugin. Open Decky. There it is, Decky-Framegen. Uninstall FGMod. Process complete. I'll even uninstall Decky plugin. This is SteamOS running in desktop mode. Just run Decky's installer file. It will give us the option to uninstall Decky. Execute. Enter your sudo password. If you haven't created it yet, you can create it via the system settings. Click on users here. Click on change password. Create your password. I'll enter mine. These options will pop up. I'll select this one. Wipe Decky Loader. Will not keep config intact. Clean installation. OK. Uninstallation process complete. Delete this file as well. Open any web browser. Go to Decky's website. Click on download here. Wait for the download process to complete. Now open Dolphin File Explorer. Go to downloads. Here you'll find this file, Decky_installer.desktop. Just double click it. Click on execute. Click on continue. You will be required to enter your sudo password. Here you need to select either release or pre-release version of Framegen plugin depending on the version of SteamOS running on your Steam Deck. I am using the stable release of SteamOS, so I'll select release as the option here. Click on OK. Make sure Deck is connected to an internet connection. Download started. Process complete. Click on OK. Now I'll switch to SteamOS gaming mode. In SteamOS gaming mode, just press the quick access menu button. Tap on the plug icon here. Decky. Tap on the store icon here. Tap on search bar. Just type frame. Then hit enter. There's the plugin Decky-Framegen. Tap on it. You can see the release version here. Tap on install. Install again. It's downloading. Installation complete. Decky-Framegen has been added to Decky's menu. Just select Decky-Framegen from here. Now tap on install FGMod. Wait for the process to complete. There you go. First I'll be installing the mod in Witcher 3. Just tap on this drop down bar. Select the game. It will show you all of the games that are installed on your Steam Deck. There's Witcher 3. Select it. Now you need to tap on patch. Now tap on yeah man, I wanna do it. We are done here. This will add a launch option to the game. Just open the game Steam page now. Tap on the settings cog here. Tap on properties. Tap on general. Under launch options, you will see this line of text. Just to be clear, Currently, this Frame Gen plugin is not compatible with third-party launchers like Ubisoft Connect, Epic Games, EA App, etc. etc. It may work with non-Steam games. You will be required to manually add this launch option. Run the game. I am using G Proton version 9-24 as the compatibility layer. Connected my 8-bit to Ultimate 2C controller to deck via Bluetooth mode. This is the LCD variant of Steam Deck. Its display supports up to 60Hz refresh rate. So I'll uncap the FPS by disabling SteamOS basing. Performance QM settings. Only level set to 2. Enable disable frame limit and allow tearing settings. And that's it. FPS cotton cap. This game supports DLSS frame generation, so I'll be using Nukem 9's mod to enable FSR frame generation. Using the medium graphics preset. Very important, you need to select DLSS as the upscaler. In this game it's anti-aliasing. Using the upscaler's balance quality mode, this is up to you. It's recommended to disable post-processing effects when using FSR frame generation. Effects like motion blur, lens distortion, bloom, depth of field, chromatic aberration, vignette, camera lens effect, see. Everything set to medium. Display settings, 800p resolution, display mode set to borderless window. Yeah, we have access to DLSS frame generation. This means the mod is working, see. I'll disable it for the time being. We have access to NVIDIA Reflex as well. NVIDIA Reflex does not work on SteamOS. We are in. Now open Optiscaler mod menu by pressing the insert keyboard key. If you don't have a keyboard, you can map insert key to any of Steam Deck's back grip buttons. I'll quickly show you the process. Press the Steam button here. Select controller settings. Select edit layout. This is for Steam Deck controller. Scroll down until you find any of the back grip buttons, for example L4 back grip button. Select it. Go to keyboard section. Go to numpad section. From here select insert. I have mapped insert key to L4 back grip button. Back to the game. Now I'll press L4 back grip button. Optiscaler mod menu will pop up. Okay, let me just zoom in. The text is still very small. I'll just increase the UI scale from here. Default value is 1.0. I'll set it to 1.3. Yeah, much better now. From this drop down bar we can change the upscaler. This is the current upscaler selected, XeSS version 1.3.1. Different upscalers. I don't recommend using FSR upscaler, produces lot of texture shimmering. This is the latest version 3.x. You need to click on apply in order to apply the change. Don't need to change any settings from here. Okay, this is the version of Optiscaler used by Decky-Framegen plugin 0.6.7 preview 14. This build of Optiscaler does not support FSR frame generation. So if you want to enable FSR frame generation in games using this plugin, just use it in games that already support DLSS frame generation. Nukem 9's mod will be used. Back to the game. Check out the real world input delay. This is the game running without frame generation. FPS value is close to 40. I'm standing at the entrance of Novigrad. This is the minimum FPS value that I recommend for using FSR frame generation on Steam Deck. It's not going to be a good experience and the base FPS is close to 30. FPS with frame generation will be around 55. Input delay will be noticeable. Let's just enable frame generation now. Open the game settings. Enable DLSS frame generation from the display settings. This will activate FSR frame generation. Keep an eye on the FPS counter. Yeah, FPS increased to around 70, 65 to 70. Now let's check out the input delay. Not bad. And there is a noticeable increase in latency, but it's manageable. It's a shame that SteamOS does not support anti-lag technology, which is available on Windows platform. Anti-lag helps in reducing the latency. Very helpful in such a scenario. 60 to 70 FPS. Now frame generation is not perfect. During fast visual motion you will observe your character shadow flickering. It's up to AMD to solve this issue. It's not a mod related problem. There's one more problem. Around the left and right edges of the display, you'll observe some double images. Just observe Geralt swords. And I rotate the camera, see. So just make sure your character is in the center, not around the edges. I'll show you the game files now. Exit. Switch to SteamOS desktop mode. Open the game's installed directory. Open bin folder. Open x64_dx12 folder. Plugin basically install DLSS enabler in the game's installed directory where the game's main exe file is present. This is how we install the mod properly. I can see the files for Newcomb 9's mod, Fake NV API and JSAUX Optiscaler mod. And just open the log file. This is for Newcomb 9's mod, DLSS due to FSR 3. Version of the mod used 0.110. Open the log file of DLSS enabler. Version of the mod used 3.02.000.0-B10. It's a very old version of DLSS enabler. Now I'll show you how to uninstall these mods. Switch to SteamOS gaming mode. Press the QM button. Tap on Decky. Select Decky-Framegen. Tap on Select a Game drop down bar. Select Witcher 3. From here just tap on Unpatch. This will change the launch argument for the game. Quickly show you this. See, uninstaller.sh file has been selected. Now just launch the game. Script will get executed. We're in the menu. Now you can exit the game. Switch to SteamOS desktop mode. Now just check the game's installed directory where the game's main exe file is present. Mod files should be removed now. Bin folder x64_dx12 in the case of Witcher 3. Yeah, the mod files are gone. Just this file is present, fgmod-uninstaller.sh. You can delete it manually. It's also recommended to verify the game data integrity via Steam Store. If the mod modified any game files, they will be reverted to their default state. Select the game in your Steam library, click on the settings cog here, click on properties, click on install files, then click on verify integrity of game files. Also remove this launch argument from here under launch options. So that's it for the video guys. I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.